Hello and welcome to Decision 2022. Here are the following Republican senators who are currently retiring. We have Roy Blunt out of Missouri, Richard Shelby out of Alabama, Richard Burr out of North Carolina, Rob Portman out of Ohio, Pat Toomey out of Pennsylvania, and James Lankford out of Oklahoma. However, he was primaried by Jackson LaMayer earlier in the year, so that is why he is retiring. And now we have the retiring Democrat senators. We only have one, and that is Patrick Leahy of Vermont, the longest-serving Democrat senator currently, now retiring. Now let's take a look at President Biden's approval rating. He has a 37% approval rating, 53.8% of Americans disapprove of him, and 9.2% of Americans have no opinion of him, thus giving Joe Biden a 16.8% disapproval rating. The state of the economy, 30.7% of Americans says the economy is doing very well, while 59.7% of Americans say it's doing very poorly, while 9.6% of Americans have no opinion of where the economy is. Now, polling for the top Senate races as of right now: in Nevada, Catherine Cortez Masto leads by less than 1%. In Arizona, Mark Kelly leads by 1%. In Pennsylvania, John Fetterman leads by less than 1%. In New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan leads by 7 points. And in Georgia, Herschel Walker leads by 4 points. These are the top Senate races. Now, taking a look at the top governor races: in the Nevada governor race, Steve Sisolak leads by 1 point. In Pennsylvania, Lou Barletta leads by 1 point. In Michigan, James Craig leads by less than 1%. In Georgia, David Perdue leads by 2 points. And in Ohio, John Cranley currently leads by 4 points. It is now 7 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the Kentucky Senate race, we can now project that Rand Paul will go on to win another term as senator. As you can see here, he wins by around 14 points, defeating Charles Booker. This is a massive underperformance of what Donald Trump did. And out of South Carolina, we can project that Tim Scott will win another term to the Senate. He says that he will be retiring in 2026, however, so there's, or 2028, excuse me. As you can see here, he is winning by around 16 percentage points at the end of the day. And here's the map on your screen. Out of Vermont, Peter Welch will be succeeding Patrick Leahy in the Senate. He will be elected to his first term in the Senate as he retired from his House seat. As you can see here, he's winning by around 30 points over Scott Milne. In the Georgia Senate race, currently too close to call, Raphael Warnock is currently leading over Herschel Walker right now. Out of the South Carolina governor race, Henry McMaster will be re-elected to the governorship. Democrats hope to make this close, but they couldn't do it, as McMaster is currently leading Cunningham by 16 percentage points. Out of the Vermont governor race, Phil Scott will go on to win another term to the governor seat, defeating Molly Gray by around 25 percentage points. If I'm not mistaken, 25 points. As you can see here, he's going to be winning every single county in Vermont. And out of the Georgia governor race, it is currently too close to call. Stacey Abrams, who was once again the second time in a row the Democrat nominee, currently leading David Perdue, who primaried Brian Kemp out of his spot. It is now 7:30 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of the North Carolina Senate seat, it is currently too close to call. Ted Budd is currently leading Cherry Beasley as of right now. Out of the Ohio Senate race, J.D. Vance is currently leading Tim Ryan in this race. Out of the Georgia Senate race, it is Herschel Walker has now taken a lead. However, it is under 50%. This could go to a runoff at the end of the night. Out of Ohio's governor race, currently too close to call, Mike DeWine is currently leading John Cranley in this race. Out of Georgia's governor race, David Perdue has taken the lead over Stacey Abrams, as he is currently overperforming Herschel Walker currently. He is actually at 50%, so he could avoid a runoff if this were to stick. It is now 8 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of Alabama's Senate race, we can project that Mo Brooks will be elected to his first term in the Senate, succeeding Richard Shelby. As you can see here, he will be winning by around 30 points, winning one of the key counties in the Black Belt, as you can see there. Out of the Florida Senate race, Marco Rubio will defy expectations, winning by double digits. He will be re-elected to the Senate, defeating Val Demings by 10 percentage points. That says Alabama, that's supposed to say Florida. That is my mistake. Out of Missouri Senate race, Mark McCloskey, he came back, was in single digits in the leading by only having 8% in the primary polls. Donald Trump came in, saved his campaign, endorsed him, which was a shock to many. He came in and won over 50% of the primary vote. Mark McCloskey is now going on to win his first term to the Senate, winning by around 20 points. Look at all that red on that map. He's defeating Scott Sifton, who ran a very far-left campaign. Out of Oklahoma Senate race, as we mentioned earlier, he primaried Jackson or excuse me, he primary James Lankford. Jackson Lemaire will be elected to his first term to the Senate with Donald Trump's endorsement, of course. As you can see here, he's defeating Bevan Rogers by around 38 percentage points. A huge win for Lemaire. Out of Connecticut, that says President, supposed to say Senate, but out of the Connecticut Senate race, Richard Blumenthal will win another term to the Senate, defeating Robert Hyde by around 15 percentage points. A big win for Blumenthal, as this was supposed to be a lot closer. He was polling at around 11%, but he outperforms the polling by 4 points. Out of the Illinois Senate race, Tammy Duckworth will defy expectations, as she was also polling at around 12%. She will win another term to the Senate, winning by around 13 points, defeating Adam Kinzinger. Out of Maryland Senate race, this was a race Republicans were hoping to flip, but they can't do it. Chris Van Hollen will defeat Larry Hogan to win another term to the Senate. However, this race was very closer than what a typical Maryland race is. Chris Van Hollen only expected to win by around 10 points over Larry Hogan after, when typical Maryland races are 30-point Democrat wins. Larry Hogan divided the gap by 20 points. Pretty impressive if you ask me. Out of New Hampshire Senate race, too close to call. Maggie Hassan is currently leading over Don Bolda currently. She is currently leading in the polling by 7 points. Let's see if that sticks. As we do know, Republicans are typically underestimated in most polling. Out of Pennsylvania Senate race, it is too close to call. John Fetterman is currently leading Mehmet Oz, who's been running a very moderate populist campaign to the ire of many America First Republicans, but Donald Trump endorsed him nonetheless, which did piss them off, but he don't care. John Fetterman is currently leading nonetheless. Out of North Carolina Senate race, we can now project that Ted Budd will be elected to his first term to the Senate, succeeding Richard Burr. Big news for Republicans keeping this seat. He is expected to win by around 6 percentage points. Huge win for Republicans here tonight. And out of Ohio Senate race, we can project that J.D. Vance will be elected to his first term to the Senate, defeating Tim Ryan, winning by around, 5%. He's winning by around 5 points right now. A huge win for Republicans, despite this being an underperformance of Donald Trump's 2020 numbers. And we can now make a big projection out of Georgia Senate race. The first gain for Republicans here tonight. Herschel Walker will be elected to his first term in the Senate, defeating Raphael Warnock, flipping the Georgia Senate seat red. As you can see here, he's expected to win by around 4 percentage points here tonight. He's not expected to drop below 50%, and so he will avoid a runoff. Out of Alabama's governor race, we can project that Kay Ivey, who narrowly survived a primary challenge from Donald Trump's Linda Blanchard, and Donald Trump's endorsed candidate Linda Blanchard, and Kay Ivey will be reelected to another term as governor, winning by around 30 points over Sue Bell Cobb. Out of Florida's governor race, huge news for Ron DeSantis' campaign as he actually overperforms Marco Rubio's numbers. Ron DeSantis will win by around 12 percentage points, winning Pinellas, Duval, and Miami-Dade counties, something Marco Rubio couldn't do earlier in the night. But he beats Charlie Crist by 13 points. Huge news for Ron DeSantis for a potential 2024 bid if Donald Trump chooses not to run. Out of Massachusetts governor race, Charlie Baker will be elected to another term, winning all but 2 counties. He's facing off against Daniel Allen. He's expected to win by around 19 points. There was a major third-party candidate that some Republicans did flock to, but it's still not enough for Charlie Baker to lose, as he will win by around 19 points. Out of New Hampshire's governor race, Chris Sununu, who many thought was going to run for Senate, but he didn't. He decided to run for governor instead. He will go on to win re-election to his seat in the governor's race, expected to win by over 40 points, as you can see here, winning every single county in New Hampshire, defeating Joyce Craig by pretty solid margins. Out of Oklahoma's governor race, Kevin Stitt, who also narrowly survived a primary challenge from Donald Trump. Kevin Stitt will go on to win re-election by around 27 points, an underperformance of Jackson Lemaire's numbers. He was facing off against Joy Hoffmeister, a former Republican turned Democrat, only losing Oklahoma City's county. I think it's Oklahoma County. I could be wrong. Out of Tennessee's governor race, Bill Lee, a very popular governor, he will go on to win re-election, winning by around 28 percentage points over Marquita Bradshaw. Out of Illinois' governor race, J.B. Pritzker will go on to win another term as governor, defeating Rodney Davis. Rodney Davis retired from the House to run for governor, as Adam Kinzinger retired from the House to run for Senate, as both House members were drawn out of their district into blue districts or with another Republican. But J.B. Pritzker is expected to win by around 12 percentage points right now. Out of Rhode Island's governor race, a race that Republicans were originally hopeful for, but aren't so anymore, as Dan McKee is expected to outperform most Democrats on the ballot and among the ballots, and expected to win by a big margin by around 16 percentage points, defeating Alan Fung, who's giving it his third shot, and with his worst performance yet. Out of Connecticut's governor race, that's a Senate that I meant to put governor, my mistake. Ned Lamont, a popular governor, is currently facing off against Bob Stefanowski right now. This is a race Republicans have been pouring a lot of money into, but let's see if it'll pay off in the end of the day. Out of Maine's governor race, it is currently too close to call. Janet Mills is currently leading Paula Page. If nobody gets 50%, they will go off to instant ranked choice of voting, which the second ballot, the second choice will then take over, which typically favors Democrats in the state. Out of Maryland's governor race, it is currently too close to call. Tom Perez is currently leading Michael Steele right now, a very Hogan-like Republican versus a very establishment Democrat. This is a race that is a lot closer than expected. Perez was leading in the polling by around 4 points, which isn't good for a Democrat. Michael Steele is actually outperforming Larry Hogan right now. A lot of this is the Larry Hogan vote, and a bunch of independents are coming out for Michael Steele, so we're going to see if that's enough for him to keep Maryland's governor seat red here tonight. Out of Pennsylvania's governor race, too close to call. Josh Shapiro, the current Attorney General, is currently leading over former Congressman Lou Barletta. Josh Shapiro is leading by around 4 points right now. And now we can make a call out of Ohio's governor race. Mike DeWine will outperform the ballot by a huge margin. Mike DeWine will be reelected to the governorship, winning by around 22 percentage points. A huge win for Mike DeWine. A lot of Democrats wouldn't turn out for John Cranley due to him being very conservative, which kind of killed his campaign. However, Republicans still voted for Mike DeWine despite him being more liberal than the typical Republican, which kind of tanked Cranley's campaign, which most people in the Cranley campaign hoped that some of the Republicans would flock to him, and as some Democrats were going to turn out, but that didn't happen. Out of Georgia's governor race, we can now make a big projection for Republicans as David Perdue will be elected to the governorship, as he will also win by around 4 points. Herschel Walker and him will be avoiding runoffs, which is huge news for Republicans as they are becoming less favorable in runoffs. It is now 8:30 p.m. and the following states have poll closing, and that only state is Arkansas, and we don't have any Arkansas Senate races, or we do. John Boozman has been reelected, but we don't have a graphic. That is my mistake. However, we do have updates out of New Hampshire and Pennsylvania, and the New Hampshire Senate race, too close to call. Maggie Hassan is currently leading Don Bolduc by around 3 points right now. Out of the Pennsylvania Senate race, too close to call. John Fetterman narrowly leading Dr. Mehmet Oz right now by around 1%. Out of the Arkansas governor race, Sarah Sanders will be elected to her first term as governor. This is the daughter of Mike Huckabee. She will be elected to a big margin, winning by around 33 percentage points, winning one of the counties in the Black Belt. Huge win for Sarah Sanders, defeating independent-turned-Democrat Dan Whitfield. Out of Connecticut's governor race, too close to call. Look at this. A dead tie between the two candidates. This is going to be another close race, a rematch from 2018. It's a red wave now, so many people are thinking Bob Stefanowski could do it. Out of Maine's governor race, too close to call. Janet Mills still has a lead by around 4 percentage points right now. Out of Maryland's governor race, look at this. A dead heat between the two candidates. So currently, Tom Perez is leading by a few thousand votes, but that could change at any minute. Out of Pennsylvania's governor race, Lou Barletta has taken the lead over Josh Shapiro. Lou Barletta could end up becoming the next governor of Pennsylvania. We'll just have to wait and find out. It is now 9 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of Kansas Senate race, Jerry Moran will be reelected to another term. He will go on to outperform expectations, defeating Mark Holland by around 20 points. Out of Louisiana Senate race, John Kennedy will avoid a runoff, winning over 60% of the vote, or at 60%, as Bernie Moreno or Helena Moreno only win 37%, and the rest will go to other candidates. But John Kennedy will win this Senate race, avoiding a runoff. In North Dakota Senate race, John Hoven will win re-election, winning by around 37 percentage points over Michael Steele or Michelle Steele. I'm not quite sure. Out of South Dakota Senate race, John Thune narrowly survived a primary challenge from Donald Trump. Donald Trump's endorsed candidate Skylar Borgum, but John Thune will go on to win by around 31 percentage points over Troy Heinhardt. Big win for John Thune as he narrowly survived a primary challenge. Out of Colorado Senate race, Michael Bennett will go on to win re-election. Eli Bremer didn't run that good of a campaign, thus leading to Michael Bennett winning by around 12 points at the end of the day. Out of New York Senate race, the current Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will go on to win re-election, to another term, defeating Clark Tucker, winning by around 18 points. A typical underperformance of Chuck Schumer, but Republicans, specifically Curtis Sliwa, campaigned really hard for Clark Tucker, which helped upstate, but it wasn't enough as New York City came out in huge droves to keep Schumer in the Senate. Out of Arizona Senate race, too close to call, Mark Kelly is currently leading Blake Masters by around 7 points right now. Out of Wisconsin Senate race, Ron Johnson, who didn't announce till last minute too whether he was running for re-election. Many thought he was just going to let the deadline run and just have no ballot, which would have been a nice troll, but he didn't do that. Ron Johnson currently leading by 6 points over Mandela Barnes. And now we can make a call of New Hampshire Senate race. Maggie Hassan, who once looked like she would be out of the job, is now going to be winning re-election to her seat. Big news for Maggie Hassan, as she would defeat Don Bullock by 3 points, an underperformance of what the polling said, but either way, she will be re-elected either way. Out of Pennsylvania Senate race, too close to call, a dead heat between the two candidates. Mehmet Oz is currently leading by a few thousand votes. Good news for Republicans if this were to stick. Out of Nebraska governor race, Charles Herbster will go on to win his first term as governor. Thanks to Donald Trump's endorsement, he was able to easily win the primary. And as you can see here, he'll be going on to win by around 23 percentage points. Big win for Charles Herbster. Out of South Dakota's governor race, Stephen Haggard, who primaried Kristi Noem out of her seat, will be going to win his first term as governor, defeating Billy Sutton by 31 percentage points. Polling showed that this was going to be a closer race with Kristi Noem, and many Republicans felt that she shouldn't be governor anymore in the nominee, and they replaced her with Stephen Haggard. Out of Texas governor race, Greg Abbott will go on to win re-election to another term, defeating Beto O'Rourke by 13 points. Big win for Greg Abbott. Out of Wyoming governor race, Mark Gordon, one of the most popular governors in the country, will go on to win re-election, winning by around 49 points, winning all but one county, and that's the most populous county, Cheyenne. And out of the Colorado governor race, Jared Polis will go on to win re-election in a landslide, winning by around 22 percentage points, defeating Heidi Canal. Out of New York's governor race, Kathy Hochul will finally win her first full term to the governorship after a very tough primary challenge. She only won 38% of the vote, mind you. And she will defeat Lee Zeldin by 18 points. Out of Arizona's governor race, it is currently too close to call. Carrie Lake currently leading Katie Hobbs by 6 points. Out of Kansas governor race, too close to call. Derek Schmidt leading Laura Kelly by 6 points. A win that the GOP needs to solidify a victory in Kansas, or just a victory in the midterms, because if they lose Kansas, then it's all for naught, if you ask me. Out of Michigan's governor race, it is currently too close to call. Gretchen Whitmer is currently leading James Craig by around 3 points. Out of Minnesota, too close to call. Tim Walz leading Scott Jensen by around 9 percentage points. Out of New Mexico, too close to call. Michelle Lujan Grisham currently leading Mark Ronchetti by around 4 percentage points. Wisconsin's governor race, too close to call. Tony Evers leading Sean Duffy by 2 percentage points currently. And we can now make a huge call for Republicans out of Connecticut. Bob Stefanowski will be elected to his first term as governor, defeating Ned Lamont. Despite Ned Lamont having a 55% approval rating, he still ended up losing. Many Democrats didn't turn out as they thought this was a shoo-in, which ended up spelling doom for his campaign, as Bob Stefanowski will be elected to his first term as governor. As you can see here, he wins by around 2 percentage points, winning 50 to 48. Big news for Republicans here tonight. Out of Maine's governor race, Janet Mills will be re-elected to another term as governor, winning by around 4 percentage points over Paula Page. This is a race that Republicans were hoping to win, but they just couldn't do it here tonight. And we can make a big projection out of Maryland. Michael Steele will be elected the next governor of Maryland, the former lieutenant governor of Maryland. He will narrowly beat Tom Perez by 1 percentage point. Very, very close here in Maryland, but Michael Steele will be elected nonetheless. Tom Perez has finally conceded the race to Steele, congratulating him on his victory. Out of Pennsylvania's governor race, Lou Barletta will flip this seat red. Big news for Republicans. Lou Barletta getting redemption from the 2018 race, winning by 2 points over Josh Shapiro, winning Erie County, a county that's typically needed for a Republican and to win. It's now 10 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of Iowa, Chuck Grassley will easily win re-election, winning by around 23 percentage points over Abby Finkenauer. Out of Utah, Mike Lee will go on to win re-election, defeating Steve Schmidt and Evan McMullen, winning by around 30 points, as Evan McMullen was splitting the vote with two of those candidates. both Lee and Schmidt, as some Republicans also voted for McMullen. Out of Nevada, it is too close to call. Catherine Cortez Masto currently leading Adam Laxalt by around 4 percentage points right now, a race that Republicans are throwing a lot of money at and hoping to flip here tonight. Out of Arizona Senate race, too close to call. Mark Kelly is currently leading Blake Masters by around 3 percentage points as outside votes from counties from outside Maricopa are starting to come in. Out of Wisconsin Senate race, too close to call. Ron Johnson currently leading Mandela Barnes by around 3 percentage points currently. Out of Iowa's governor race, we can now project that Kim Reynolds will go on to win another term as governor, defeating Roz Smith by around 13 points. Out of Nevada's governor race, Steve Sisolak will scratch that. It is currently too close to call, as Steve Sisolak, with his amazing dinosaur mask, is currently leading Joe Lombardo by around 1%. Joe Lombardo narrowly defeating Dean Heller in a primary. Out of Kansas governor race, we can finally make the projection that Republicans will flip this county. Derek Schmidt will be elected to the governor of Kansas, a big win for Republicans here tonight. He will win by around 8 points over Laura Kelly. Out of Minnesota's governor race, Tim Walz will be re-elected to another term as governor, defeating Scott Jensen by around 8 or 7 percentage points. A race that Republicans threw some money at, not enough though. They weren't really interested in this race. Tim Walz had a 53% approval rating. It really wasn't gonna, work out so well, but Tim Walz will be re-elected as governor. Out of Arizona's governor race, still too close to call. Carrie Lake leading by around 4 points. Out of Michigan, too close to call. James Craig now has a lead, leading by around 1 percentage point. Out of New Mexico's governor race, Mark Ronchetti leading. This would be huge if Republicans are able to defeat Michelle Lujan Grisham here tonight, as they've been throwing a lot of money here. Out of Wisconsin's governor race, too close to call. Sean Duffy leading by around 1 point. It is now 11 p.m. and the following states have poll closings. Out of Idaho, Mike Crapo will win re-election, defeating James Vandermoss by around 36 percentage points. A big win for Mike Crapo here tonight. Out of California, Alex Padilla will go on to win re-election, defeating Chloe Zhao by a big margin, big margin. Out of Hawaii, Brian Schatz will go on to win re-election, defeating Cam Cavasso. Out of Oregon, Ron Wyden, as expected, will outperform the general ballot, and will go on to win re-election, defeating Mike Beebe it was James Beebe, if I'm not mistaken, winning by around 11 points. Out of Washington, Patty Murray will go on to win re-election, defeating, that's supposed to say Smiley, she will defeat Tiffany Smiley by around 12 percentage points. Out of Wisconsin Senate race, Ron Johnson will win re-election, defeating Mandela Barnes by around 4 points. A pretty good overperformance where the polling at it. It was Johnson +2 in the polling. It's now Johnson +4 in the end. Out of Nevada Senate race, a dead tie between the two candidates. Cortez Masto currently has a lead by around a few thousand votes. We'll just have to see where this goes. Out of Arizona Senate race, too close to call. Mark Kelly has a narrow lead over Blake Masters, a 1-point lead right now. Kelly has been leading all night. Blake Masters could overtake him at any point right now. Out of Idaho's governor race, Janice McGetchin, who primaried the governor, Brad Little, will be elected to the governorship, defeating Paulette Jordan by around 35 points. The big win for McGetchin here tonight. Out of California's governor race, Gavin Newsom will be re-elected, defeating Kevin Faulconer. Kevin Faulconer thought he could pull up a strong performance, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't even win San Diego County, his home county, and Gavin Newsom will landslide to victory over Kevin Faulconer. Out of Hawaii's governor race, Tulsi Gabbard, after winning a very brutal primary, will be elected as governor of Hawaii, defeating MMA fighter BJ Penn, which shocked many people when he announced his run for governor. It actually piqued some interest as maybe he could do it, as Hawaii really doesn't get that many big-name Republicans, but he couldn't do it in the end. The partisan mix of Hawaii was just too much for him to overcome. Out of Oregon's governor race, is currently too close to call, as Ted Wheeler is currently leading Kerry McQuiston by around 8 percentage points. We can now make a big projection for Republicans out of Arizona. Many neoconservatives were very upset with Carrie Lake, saying that she was a nut job. But here at Moderate Populist Chaotic Politics, Inc., we said that she could do it, and she damn right she did it. Carrie Lake is the projected winner in Arizona, winning by around 4 points, winning Maricopa County. Big win for Republicans here tonight. Now to Michigan's governor race, look at this. James Craig will be elected to the governorship. This is a gain for Republicans, winning by around 2 percentage points. However, he couldn't win that Bellwether County, which is telling, could be telling for the future. Now to New Mexico's governor race, Mark Cronchetti will flip the governorship back to Republican, the first Republican governor since Susana Martinez back when she was elected in 2014. And so he will win by around 2 percentage points. And out of the Wisconsin governor race, Sean Duffy will flip this governor seat. Republicans are making flips left, right, and center, as he will defeat Tony Evers by around 2 points. Evers had a 46% approval rating, which is not good if you are wanting to win re-election in a red wave year. Out of Nevada's governor race, too close to call, a dead heat between the two candidates. Steve Sisolak currently leading by around a few thousand votes right now. It is now 1 a.m. We now have poll closings out of Alaska, and here's the results from the first ballot. As you can see here, Sarah Palin leading by 35%, Lisa Murkowski in second at 23%, Elvie Gray Jackson at 22%, winning all the independents and Democrats, and Kelly Tshibaka, who refused to drop out after Sarah Palin entered the race, at 20%. And out of the Nevada Senate race, currently too close to call. Adam Laxalt is now leading by a few thousand votes. He has taken the lead over Catherine Cortez Masto. Arizona, Mark Kelly still has that 1% lead right now. And here are the first ballot results out of Alaska. Mike Dunleavy leading by around 43%. This is most of the Republican vote coming out for him. Bill Walker, an independent, is coming in second with 28%. A Democrat, Les Gar, is at 22%. And another Democrat, Valerie Davidson, is at 8%. And we can now make a projection out of the Oregon governor race. Ted Wheeler, the mayor of Portland, will win his first term as governor here tonight. He was a very controversial figure, but he has finally been able to do it. He will win by around 9 points over Kerry McQuiston. A big win for Ted Wheeler here tonight, despite him being down in polling by around 5 points. And out of Nevada, too close to call, Steve Sisolak still has a lead, despite Adam Laxalt leading in the Senate race. It is 1:30. We can now make a projection. We can now make an update out of the Alaska races. As the second ballot results, Sarah Palin's at 45%, Lisa Murkowski is at 29%, and Elvie Gray Jackson's at 26%. Now we're going to see where the Elvie Gray Jackson people go. Many are expecting Lisa Murkowski to upset, but we'll just have to wait and find out. And for the governor races, Mike Dunleavy's at 41%, Les Garra's taken second at 30%, and Bill Walker is now at 29%. Bill Walker will be bumped down despite being a former governor. It is now 1:48 a.m. We can now make a big projection out of the Arizona Senate race. Mark Kelly will be reelected. He will buck the national trend, or buck the national environment, and defeat Blake Masters very narrowly. He was able to win Maricopa County here tonight, which gives him the race. Only barely winning this race, though, Mark Kelly will be reelected to his first full term. It is now 2 a.m. We can now make some projections out of Alaska. Sarah Palin will be elected to the Senate in Alaska, as she defeated Lisa Murkowski, as you can see here. The green is Murkowski, the red is Palin. She will win by around 10 points. Most of the Elvie Gray Jackson vote went to Murkowski. However, just enough of the vote went to Sarah Palin in order for her to win, which is big news for her campaign. And thus Palin will be elected to her first term to the Senate, defeating Murkowski. And for the governor race, Mike Dunleavy will be elected, defeating Les Garra on the final ballot. However, it was very close. Les Garra made it close on the final ballot. Mike Dunleavy winning by 6 points at the end of the day, defeating Les Garra on the final ballot. We can now make a projection out of the Pennsylvania Senate race. Mehmet Oz will be elected to the Senate, keeping this seat red, defeating John Fetterman by around 1 point. A big win for Republicans and Dr. Oz here tonight. He will now be known as Senator Oz, no longer Dr. Oz. It is now 2:12. We can now make a projection out of the Nevada Senate race and also the Nevada governor race, as Adam Laxalt will win this seat, flipping it red. Republicans' energy paid off. Adam Laxalt kind of got revenge on his 2018 loss. I guess you could say he got that win back. I guess you could say defeating Catherine Cortez Masto very narrowly. However, he didn't win neither Clark nor Reno County, which is telling that Republicans don't need to win those counties in order to win. However, this was very narrow. Reno County, as well as Clark, was just very close. And we can now make a projection that the Senate majority will go to Mitch McConnell and the Republicans. Mitch McConnell is expected to go back to being the Republican majority leader. And they are expected to make a net gain of 1 here tonight. It is now 2:26 a.m. We can now make a projection out of Nevada's governor race. Steve Sisolak will make a comeback. Despite Catherine Cortez Masto losing, Steve Sisolak will win his second term, despite that, narrowly defeating Joe Lombardo. And here is the final Senate composition. 51 Republicans, 52 technically, because we have a Republican in Pennsylvania now. not Democrat. Excuse me, that's a mess up. We also have 2 independents, Bernie Sanders and Angus King. And here's the governor map. We have 34 Republicans and 16 Democrats. And we can now project the House majority to go to Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans, making a net gain of 52. Huge outperformance, as most people said they were going to win 30, maybe 25, but not 52. Huge win for Republicans here tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at Chaotic Politics. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Chaotic One saying, peace.